Morning, Texas UUs and our justice-seeking friends. I am the Reverend Erin Walter, proud to serve as the Minister and Executive Director of the Texas UU Justice Ministry, and we are on the other side. We did it, friends. The 89th Texas Legislature is over. Sine Die, which is the last day, and the closure of the legislature was Monday. And whew, should we just take a big exhale together? It was really special for me to be at our congregation, First Unitarian Church of Dallas, on Sunday for worship and to celebrate with them that SB 2880, Senate Bill 2880, died in this session. It would have severely affected our reproductive justice work. And so we celebrated that in a congregation that was instrumental in Roe v. Wade, and which continues incredible work for reproductive justice and abortion health care and rights. All of our congregations, all 40 of you around Texas, are doing really incredible work. And we celebrate you as we take a breath at the end of this session. Whether you could be there all those days we were asking you to drop cards, or whether you were at home hundreds of miles away taking care of the members of your community who are directly affected by the bills that legislators were trying to pass. If you were just keeping your church going in a time when people need Unitarian Universalism and need loving community so much, thank you. That is a lot. If you were making a monthly contribution to TXUUJM so that we could focus on showing up, testifying in committee hearings, representing Unitarian Universalist faith perspective in a world that needs it so desperately when white supremacists and extremist Christian nationalism voices are so loud. If you gave every month, or you made a significant contribution that meant something to you, it means something to us because you made it possible for us to show up. You made it possible for Michelle and Biss and myself to sit in those seats and look at those committee members in the eye and tell them that we support trans rights, we support abortion rights, we support the environment, and that they should be spending their time on the things that Texans really need. Now, you can see I'm still recovering. It's easy for me to immediately get into that preacher testimony mode. But I will tell you, on Monday, I was not at the Capitol for Sine Die. I was officiating a wedding for a family in our immigrant community here in Austin, which was very, very meaningful for me. And I started my doctoral program at Austin Presbyterian Theological Seminary, which, even though it's Presbyterian, is known for attracting quite a few Unitarian Universalists. So I'm in class starting my doctorate with Reverend Kaya Hartwood from our UU Church of the Brazos Valley, who is also on the TXUUJM board, and with Reverend Joanna Fontaine Crawford from Live Oak UU in Cedar Park. And the class is about agape love, being seized by an undying, unflinching love for the world and for all creation. And it's about nature and getting back to nature, more than just humans, but animals and the earth, plants. And so it, as much as part of me wanted to crawl in my bed and just kind of cry for the end of the legislative session and all that we have all been through, and we'll talk about that. But as much as I wanted that, this was the time for that class, and I needed to show up and be there. And it's been very nourishing to focus on the big picture needs of the earth and our planet. Climate justice is one of the focus issues that you, our TXUUJM members and congregation, have voted on. So I'm taking in a lot of information, spiritual resources, to do that work with you for climate justice in the years to come, and making connections for our faith. I look forward in a few years to sitting at those hearing tables and saying, I'm the Reverend Dr. Erin Walter from the Texas UU Justice Ministry. Anyway, it's been a really intense few months. And I wanted to share with you some really powerful words from our congregational justice organizer, Michelle Venegas-Matula, who, just a moment of appreciation for her. Michelle has been with us now for 3 years on staff. I believe that's right. And she has absolutely flourished this year in her role. She hit the ground running from day one, and we were like, how did TXUUJM ever live without her? But this year in her legislative role, her calling has just been shining through. And so I hope if you get a chance to send her a word of appreciation, along with anyone else that you've interacted with on the path of justice work this year, Miss Thornton, our intern minister, Taylor Huntley, our North Texas organizer, the members of the advisory council, the board, such a team effort. And I think anyone who has read one of Michelle's emails knows how deeply, deeply she feels and pays attention and engages with this work. So I hope you will take time to read her letter in our email today about the end of the session. And I'm going to read for you some questions that she posed that I think are so important. She talks about the just grief and brutality of the session, and also how we really have so much to be proud of. And you'll see the numbers in her email, but for example, from our partner Equality Texas, of the 207 anti-LGBTQIA+ bills that were tracked, 194 did not move forward. That is a huge testament to the amount of work that we all did in showing up. Let's see some other numbers for you. 2,774 cards were dropped in opposition to bad bills, compared with only 354 in favor. That is, let's say those numbers again, 2,774 cards dropped in opposition to bad bills on the anti-LGBTQ side in particular. We did a lot more on bills related to immigration, related to our prison industrial complex, the environment, democracy, so much. And you really, really, really showed up. We're tracking your thousands of calls along with our partner Texas Impact. And I really want to say that it matters that you called and you emailed from where you live. Sometimes we hear from people, I'm so sorry, I can't come in person. All I can do is give money. Or I'm so sorry, I can't come in person. All I can do is call or email. Those are huge, because what they do if they don't hear from people calling and emailing from around the state is they think, oh, it's just those folks in Austin. So they need to hear from you from around the state. That's actually crucial and bolsters the work. And those of you who are donating, again, you are powering the work. We are all directly impacted people on this team, and being able to pay for people's time, that's an economic justice issue. Being able to offer healthcare, it's really important. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm moving on now to the questions that Michelle asked that I just was so moved by. So we get people asking us, and I got this last Sunday at church. It's very common. I don't know, people saying, I talked to my legislature. I don't know if it mattered. I don't know if they heard me. I know one of the deepest tenets of my faith is that it matters, that we can't actually always see how the conversations we're having, and that stack of numbers that show, our powerful collective voice. We don't know immediately if that's going to matter in a certain way. Sometimes the votes go our way, and so we know. But in the long term, we know that those messages are being heard by our community, knowing that they're not alone, are being heard and used in legal action, in the court of public opinion. There's so many ways that it matters. And we're bolstering our legislators to take that information and use it in their arguments on the floor and in their work behind the scenes that we don't get to see. So it matters, it matters, it matters. I just have zero doubt that it matters. And Michelle says, how do we measure success in this political climate? And she gives us some questions to think about. So these are questions from our wonderful organizer, Michelle Venegas-Matula. Whether bills passed or fails, we have a deeper, more faithful metric, she says. Ask yourself these questions. Did I take action aligned with our shared values? Did I stretch myself and try something new? Did I amplify the truth or speak it in an uncomfortable conversation? Did I share an action so others could engage? Did I show up in solidarity with those most impacted? Or attended a workshop to learn more about an issue that doesn't impact me directly? Did I learn to be a better ally? Did I hold space for someone's pain, rage, or story? engage in deep listening, or give a much needed consensual hug? Did I provide care for those taking direct actions, give a ride, cook a meal, provide childcare? Did I make new connections or deepen my existing relationships in justice movement spaces? Did I share mutual aid, deepen my understanding, or find moments of shared joy in our work? Michelle says that is what success looks like in this movement. 90% of it won't show up in the headlines, she says, but this is how we build the world we dream about. Thank you, Michelle, for those very faithful questions, for your very faithful work. And to all of you, I promise you, your collective voice, it matters and it's very powerful. And how we take care of each other is part of the work. So I invite you on this week where we've ended the legislative session. We are still exhaling it from our bodies, still reflecting on those questions Michelle gave us. It's going to take some time. My professor at the seminary said, it's going to take more than a week and you should just be proud to be here. And let me tell you, I am. So every one of you, I hope you are proud to be here. Happy Pride Month. I hope you are proud to be yourself, taking care of yourself, taking care of your communities, your families in whatever way you can. Please know how much the team at the Texas UU Justice Ministry loves and cherishes and is grateful for every single one of you. I've been wearing a t-shirt around. I wear it to my Zumba class. I've been wearing it around that I got at a Black History Month event in Austin that says, you are enough. And I say that to you. You are enough. Together, we are so, so much. And we are powerful. And it matters that you're here, that you're you. So happy sine die, happy end of the legislature. If you are still feeling the impact, as many of us are, of the brutality of that session, we are here. And feel free to reach out to us. We know you have wonderful pastoral care in your congregations, your ministers, your teams. Remember to reach out to them. Your UU community is here for you. As always, this video is longer than I meant it to be. I was just going to read Michelle's list for you because it's so good. But I hope you'll keep going back to it. And I'm not leaving on sabbatical just yet. I've got another month or so, so I'll talk more about that in my letter, in the newsletter. But I wish you a wonderful day. All the gratitude in the world for what you've done. To our donors, thank you. And to everybody out there who's maybe not a donor yet, if you've been impressed by the work and the organizing that you've seen, if you're dreaming of a better world and you're asking yourself who's going to help build it, we invite you to make a donation and support this work. We are in it together. Happy sine die and happy Pride.